Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Simarchy, and welcome to part 2 of the Alice in Wonderland Castle Speed Build. Now, I actually decided, and I think I might have touched on this in the last video, but I am not going to use this for Alice's house. This is just going to be the Red Queen's castle. It's just too big. There's too much space to fill, and I mean, Alice, I don't know. I want her to have just a little bit more of a humble home. Um, I don't think it needs to actually be a castle, so we'll save this for the Red Queen or the Queen of Hearts. I always confuse those two. Darn it. The Queen of Hearts. I don't know what I said at the beginning, but yes, this is definitely the Queen of Hearts castle. It doesn't turn out exactly as I hoped, but I don't know. It was too much. It was too big. It was too much to furnish. I'm going to be quite honest. I spent a lot of time with the exterior, and I do furnish the inside, not all the way, but I do furnish it and absolutely like lay out the rooms for you and such, which I'm doing right now, just working on adding those stairs in there. Actually, if any of you want to fully furnish it and send it back to me, that'd be awesome. If there's one I really like, I can add it to the Let's Play. But Alice, I have a different idea for Alice's house, so you guys are going to have to wait to see that. But figured I would finish this one anyways. It will still be part of the Let's Play because, of course, the Queen of Hearts will be in here in some form or version of herself. I'm definitely putting my own twist on these characters and bringing it to a bit of a more modern type environment. So yeah, everything's going to be my own twist and my own interpretation. So it's hard to follow anything literally anyways. I mean, how hard is that? And how boring is that, right? Everything I think should be kind of reinterpreted as your own when you're being creative, and especially if you're doing a Let's Play. Nobody wants to see the same story over and over again. So yeah, I mean, obviously we'll get into more of that when I actually start the Let's Play, which I know it sounds like, or it seems like it's been a long time in the works, and it really has. I've been busy with other things like house tours and builds, and this is definitely on my list, so don't be surprised if you see the first Let's Play video in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe even sooner than that. But yeah, what am I doing? Oh, okay. So this upper part of the castle, I wasn't sure if it was actually going to be a livable area or just kind of for decoration, but I thought it would make a cute little ensuite. So it's sort of its own little bedroom area up here. So I definitely had to take those windows out and put a door instead. But since I zoomed past that so quickly, we'll move on. Right now, I'm pretty much just working with figuring out where the doorways and the lighting and the windows are going to go. And that, oh my gosh, that was a job in itself. I know looking at the speed build, it doesn't look like it took that long, but just making sure everything's in the right location, making sure the lights are all positioned correctly on the grid. I hate asymmetry, I really do. Asymmetry is what I said there. I hate when things just don't line up, especially in a build like this where it's literally a mirror image on each side of the home. Had to save there real quick. But yeah, I wanted the lights to be on the same position of the grid. So just doing that took me a little bit of time. I can't just look at something and know that it's perfectly in the middle. So you'll see a lot of that in this build. And I decided to just use those chandeliers throughout the entire house because since these rooms are so gigantic, I wanted as much lighting as possible. And I actually do end up going through and adding even more of them in the rooms and setting them all to a bright light because even with windows, it was very hard to see in some of these spaces. So there is technically 3 floors, we'll call it. The very first ground floor I just left kind of blank and empty, colored everything black so that you don't really see any what am I trying to say? It's blacks to make it look like it's just not usable space, which you can absolutely turn it into usable space if you want a gigantic freaking castle, you can. But since there's not even really staircase or a doorway going into that very ground floor, I just left it empty. So technically the first floor is what I think we're looking at right now. So there's the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor of usable space. And I had so many plans for this home. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. Maybe Maybe I'll get some inspiration to go back and do it how I envisioned it in my head at a later time, but I definitely wanted to finish it because it's been so long and some of you have been asking. Um, so yeah, this isn't my best work, I'll admit, but it's a good shell. Like definitely if you want to furnish it yourself, it is a pretty good structure to begin with. And I think I have two different versions uploaded. One is the shell and then one is like the finished furnished version, which isn't 100% complete, but it's functional. You could definitely stick a sim in here and start living in it right away. I wanted to make sure at least to do that. So this is a gigantic kitchen we're working on here. I didn't know what to fill it with, so I just filled it with lots and lots of counters and cupboards, and yeah, it's huge. Like I've built homes smaller than this entire kitchen, so if you're gonna play in this house, expect a little bit of lag that's gonna come with the territory. I think it's a 64 by 64 lot, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest lot in Sims 3. But yeah, I think what I was trying to say before is I had sort of a different version for the outside of what the outside was going to look like. I wanted this to sort of be like the everything. So I wanted to have the rose garden. I wanted to have the bushes maze thing. I wanted to have the chess courtyard. I had big plans, but to be honest, even building even building on the empty shell with such a big lot, there was quite a bit of lag, and I would much rather concentrate on Alice's home and just make each of those spots that I was thinking of different parts of the town, because we don't want her to be at home all the time. She's got to go around town and meet people, because if you remember her backstory, she's trying to get back to Wonderland. She's trying to figure out if it was a real place or not, and she's not sure. So she's definitely going to be exploring the town and meeting people. I definitely have lots of characters to create still. And yeah, so I think like um the giant chess table yard garden thingy that I'm thinking of can be its own park on its own, and the rose garden can maybe be its own separate place as well. So this is going to take a while to build. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just start the let's play anyways, and as the series progresses I can add more characters and more lots and things like that. So the next video that you guys will see from this Alice series will be the Let's Play episode 1. I promise you that. That will be the next Alice video that you see after this. So right now I am working on the grand dining table. And again, since this room is so big, what was that? 2, 4, 6 or 8 tables I pushed together to make a giant one. And this is definitely a nod to the Mad Hatter's Tea Party with all the mismatched chairs, but I'm still keeping them very Red Queen, why do I keep saying that? Queen of Hearts inspired. For the longest time, I thought they were the same, the Red Queen and the Queen of Hearts, but the Red Queen is from Through the Looking Glass, and the Queen of Hearts is from the first Alice, and I think they end up like meeting or having a tiff or something. I don't know. I don't remember the whole story, but they are two separate characters. I know that much. I found that out after I kept mixing them up. But yeah, this is the Queen of Hearts dining table. But we've already moved on to the study. So this one I just put lots and lots of bookshelves and bookcases and a tiny little fireplace because you couldn't make it any bigger, with some seating around it. So these are pretty much empty rooms. I mean, obviously they're not completely empty. Like I said, they're usable, but there's so much more space. I am used to using every fillable space, every empty wall, everything. So I had to think a little bit outside of the box to fill up a large space without doing that. So I thought big. So I made a gigantic living room, and here I'm placing 2, 3, 4, 8 rugs to make one giant one. I almost wish I had like the scaling options in Sims 4 where you can make an object bigger by pressing that certain key sequence. You guys know what I'm talking about. almost wish that carried on to the or was a feature of the Sims 3 at some point. But I will still take Sims 3 over Sims 4 because of the customization options any day. But I do find myself wanting to scale objects quite often and not being able to, and it's a little bit frustrating. If you follow my channel, you probably know that I switch back and forth between Sims 3 and Sims 4 all the time. Personally, I do more gameplay in the Sims 3, but as far as house tours and builds, I try to keep it pretty even. Well, yeah, I try. I do. I am partial to Sims 3. You guys probably know that. So this is the bathroom. It's a gigantic bathroom off the bedroom, and I stuck a giant fountain in there to make it look like one of those big giant baths that you see in period movies where it's like it looks like a giant fountain or a giant pool, but it's actually their bathtub. But I did, of course, stick a real little clawfoot tub back there as well so that your Sims actually can come in and take a bath. And the bedrooms, again, I just kind of duplicated the bathrooms. They're almost mirror images of each other. In fact, I think they are. And the same with the bedrooms. I lost my creativity at this point. So they're the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm not very creative in this video. I try to be, but gosh, there's so much space to fill. I know I said that already, but it's gigantic, and there's no way I could have done it all. So you guys use your imagination or your creativity or your skills, because I'm sure you're much more skilled than I am, to make this more of a home if you would like. And then this is that very upstairs third floor, which I just made its own little bedroom as well. So we've got the bed right in the middle. On the left, it has its own bathroom. And then on the right, which I'm working on right now, is its own little dressing area. So yeah, that's basically it. We're getting right here towards the end of the video. I'm not going to do screenshots because, I mean, you can see it. There's not much to see. But it is a full finished castle. If you'd like to download it at this point, you definitely can. And here's the backyard. Yeah, that went by super fast, but there you go, guys. That's pretty much the end of the video. Just adding a bit of landscaping here, because when I first did the build, I only did the landscaping that was visible in the photo that I was looking at. I was trying to copy it exactly. So now I'm definitely going through and adding that landscaping in here at the end so it doesn't look so empty. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And like I said, the next one will be, well, not the next video on the channel, but the next video in this series will be Let's Play Alice in Wonderland Part 1. I promise you that. So I will see you guys next time, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!